This is regarding the India-China border standoff that continues, for which the talks have continued now as well for several months. But this is what sources are telling us. The disengagement of troops now begins. This is in Pangong area, which is in fact to begin from today. Sources also saying that the pullback of the armored vehicles, of tanks, this is what includes part of this disengagement here and part of this pullback. A government statement here in Parliament, which is expected to be made tomorrow on this. Let's get in a word here from my senior colleague at the Times Network, Srinjoy, getting us those details here. Srinjoy, this is a statement that is expected to be made officially by the government tomorrow in Parliament. But this has also been the result of months-long talks and engagement with troops on the other side with China, which is now resulting in this pullback.
In months and months, as you rightly said, and the Chinese have a lot of tanks in the area. I mean, if you include all of East Ladakh, they probably have about 350 tanks and lots of armored personnel carriers. Now, the area that is being looked at, the North Bank and the South Bank, particularly south of the Spangur Gap, in two valleys, the Chinese have lots of tanks, and they are some of the more modern ZPZ-99 tanks, and also supported by the ZPZ-88 tanks, and also infantry combat vehicles. Now, if you are going to move them back, well, it's at least you can say that it's a thaw, and it's a move in the positive direction. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there is a thaw everywhere. There are other areas where the Chinese are quite strong, opposite Depsang, in the Rudok area, in other areas like Hot Springs, the Chinese are present in strength. The important thing is there were a lot of friction points in the North Bank, South Bank area. Now, if you have friction points, the possibility of an escalation is always very high, which is why even a partial disengagement as is going on is a positive. That's really the important thing, and hopefully this will continue because it has taken 9 rounds of talks between commanders, lots of WMCC meetings, and so on. We will have to see what happens in the future, but at least for now, the fact that tanks, armored personnel carriers are being moved back is a step in the right direction, particularly when you have so many tanks. And India believes that if you look at the tanks now, maybe there will be use in the Depsang area when summer comes.
That's right. And Srinjoy, since you're also talking numbers and what sources are telling us of about 350 tanks in East Ladakh area of the Chinese here. But also, if you could give us some specifics here in this pullback that we're looking at, is this just in the Pangong area, or is this in other areas within the district where this has been reported earlier?
What we are hearing right now is that the pullback is restricted to actually the North Bank and South Bank of the Pangong area. Now, it's important that this happens in this area, primarily because there are friction points here. All this firing in the air and all that has happened in that area. So it's important that they be moved back. So you cannot discount the possibility. You can't wish away the fact that this is a step in the right direction. We will have to see where it goes from here. But at least this is a first step, and a positive step is what we can say after this standoff that has gone on for 10 months. So we have to see what happens now. But it must be said that there has to be a verification process, which basically means that if you're going to look at this, both sides will see who is pulling out, how much is being pulled out, and so on. Because this can be done easily with people on the ground and through UAVs. Important that the verification process goes on properly.
Okay. Absolutely. Srinjoy, many thanks for getting us those details here. And as we said, this is what sources are informing us, with Srinjoy coming in with that confirmation here. And we would expect the government of India to make a statement on this as well in Parliament tomorrow.